Da, 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 da. Hello, 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 hello. How's it all going? I hope everyone is doing well. Rodrigo, how are you doing? Kobe, how are you getting on? Yeah, game week 29. Oh my god, there's a bit of Peep Show. I was just watching that before going live. What a show, may I say? What a show. So we've got game week 29 coming up. Only 8 teams playing, so it is what it is. It is what it is. We just have to try and get through this game week with the kind of the least amount of damage. So actually, I just skipped over myself. What am I doing? And that is not the game week score I got. So you can tell I'm doing this one very much off the cuff at the minute. But yeah, we'll come on to the team in a second. Do let me know in the chat how you are lining up for game week 29. I currently have 8 players who have the potential of playing, but yeah, only 6 of them who actually look, or maybe 7, 6 or 7 who actually look like they will. So yeah, it's one of those where I guess it is what it is, really. Hopefully Bamford and Son can be back for the games. That would be absolutely wonderful. I do hear some news that Bielsa has said that Bamford should be available for this game. So yeah, I hope Bamford can play, and then it's just on Son. And we've seen Son recover in the past unbelievably well from injury. So I'm not going to get rid of him. Let me just move on to the team. So I'm not going to get rid of Son. But yeah, if he doesn't play this week, it ain't the worst. Grealish could be back. Grealish could well be back. That's a big thing I'm hearing. Dylan, how you doing, fella? Who you think I should get to replace Son, Odegaard, or Lookman? Jeez, is that like long term? Because long term, I mean, if I have to pick between the two, I'd go Lookman. But personally, I don't like either of them, to be honest. How did you get on in game? Yeah, game 28. I got 33 points, which, yeah, is not great. But yeah, it is what it is. The captaincy, most things didn't hit. The most unfortunate, 34 actually. The most unfortunate thing for me was Pereira coming off at half time. Ricardo Pereira for Leicester, when Leicester were easily going to go and get a clean sheet, and he easily could have hauled in that game, got some kind of attack and return. That was probably the most frustrating thing about the week. Other than that, Son got injured, Bamford got injured. Dallas sat there with 6 points on my bench, which would have gone a hell of a long way in the last game week. But probably dropped me about 100k from my previous rank. So not the best, but it is what it is. Dallas captaincy option. Yeah, I've not heard too many people say about Dallas, but I think that there are very few captaincy options this week. I think the majority obviously will be Kane. Some people still may go Son. Some people will probably go Bale. He could be one of the highest. Aubameyang, I think, will be potentially one of the highest kind of differential picks. But then I think that, yeah, going for someone like Dallas, Rafinha, I'd probably go for Rafinha over Dallas, but Dallas has really good potential of hauling. And Fulham, they've not been attacking too great of late. They could defend, to be fair to them, but Dallas, out of the defenders, yeah, he's got a high chance. He's got not a high chance of hauling, but he has the potential to haul. If I was going to go for a Leeds asset, I'd probably lean towards Rafinha, as I think he's got a massive potential to haul. But yeah, I don't think that Dallas is the worst captaincy choice for this game week. Son, Bale, or Bruno long term. Got to be Bruno for me. Got to be Bruno. Just his consistency throughout the season. Just the amount of points he gets, and if he gets any kind of return, he's also like absolutely smashing on the bonus points. So yeah, I'd definitely be going Bruno, like regardless of the fixtures really, but he actually does have some pretty decent fixtures in the back end of the season. So yeah, I'd say Bruno for me. Son second to that. I don't think Son's going to be out for too long. I think he might miss this week, but then he'll be back for Newcastle by the sounds of it, and he could well play against Villa. And Bale was just you don't know whether he's going to play even 60 minutes week in, week out. He's got he gives you the X factor as kind of the there goes that. Is what I tend to say, because he's great to watch, can haul, but consistency doesn't seem like it's really going to be there. Odegaard or Lingard, for me, Lingard just looks like not only is he going to play consistent time for a West Ham side that are pushing for Champions League, but he also just looks better. He's only blanked in one game since he's donned a West Ham shirt, so the attacking returns are definitely there for Lingard, whereas Odegaard has literally he's got one goal. He might have got an assist as well, and you don't know whether he's going to play long term. So yeah, it's gotta be Lingard for me. Son and Antonio, or Lingard and Vardy. Ignore the game week 29. I think as a pairing, Son and Antonio is quote unquote more meta. It's more template. And potentially the better pick. Lingard and Vardy is more kind of, I guess, differential point. I'm looking at bringing Vardy in personally because I've got a lot of money in the bank and I'm looking for some premium assets. And Son doesn't look, Salah doesn't look incredibly appealing. Aubameyang doesn't look really appealing. Even De Bruyne personally I don't find particularly appealing with the rotation that's going to be there and the kind of confirmed 29 blank and 33 blank. So I am myself looking toward Vardy, bringing him in around game week 32 looks good. But yeah, I think Antonio and Son, for me, seems like a stronger pairing. But that's not to say that Lingard and Vardy are definitely not bad. 59 points, jeez, took a 1 week punt on Iheanacho. Yeah, I remember, it must have been you saying that Iheanacho was, yeah, again, it looks like Sheffield United now. I mean, it's not as though they haven't been I think they've this season been more of a team to target in terms of clean sheets, because they seem to have lost a lot of games 1-0, but now that Wilder's gone, they just completely capitulated against Leicester. Yes, they are, to be fair to them, missing a lot of their defence. So yeah, that's unfortunate for them, but it seems like they really, really are now a team to target. So yeah, any Sheffield United fixtures coming up, you can think. I mean, they play against Leeds next, so that could be a potential for like a Bamford captain, or just it's good to get the Leeds assets in for this week because you'll have the triple up against Fulham and then the triple up against Sheffield. So yeah, that's pretty unreal. Are you bringing in Cody in 29? No, I am not. Or is this asking for something? No, I'm not bringing in Cody. I'm looking at Wolves assets, but for me, I'm more looking at Neto. Actually, I'll quickly discuss my team now. So as you can see, currently 8 players that could potentially play. I was looking at Saka before he got benched, but that benching's just, it put me off a little bit. I'm thinking of just going Gundogan down to Smith Rowe, 4.2 million option, probably going to play against West Ham. I'll watch out for the Europa League fixtures, but if he plays in the Europa League, I mean, I'd probably still get him anyway, but it would just be a little bit more unfortunate because it means probably won't play as many minutes against West Ham, but I'm hoping that Smith Rowe can get some good minutes under his belt in the West Ham game. And then I'll probably be looking at, I'm actually definitely bringing in Creswell for Pereira. That I could make that move now because I'm happy with doing that move. But yeah, Creswell to Pereira is one thing I'm definitely going to be doing. And then potentially a -4 from Soyuncu to Tierney. That's probably my biggest debate for the week, is whether to take a -4 to bring in Tierney. Tierney looks like he's really, really good fixtures going forward as well. And there's like a 5-game week period where I would absolutely love to own Tierney. But the thing is, I do already have Leno, so the double up in defence. And yeah, let me know, like, Leno or Martinez, that's my main pick for this week. And if I'm going to captain Kane, I feel like going for Martinez seems very counterproductive, but could also hurt me a lot if they do keep a clean sheet, because that would be like a 10-12 pointer that Martinez gets, which would be rather unfortunate not to kind of have. Salah or Jota, I'd probably still go for Salah, to be honest. I know in terms of value for money, Jota probably is better. I just do think that Salah will kind of towards the end of the season come good. I guess it just depends what the rest of your team is like. But Salah, I do think Jota is a potentially good option. I just think for me it's like a little bit more time just to see how, maybe 1 or 2 more game weeks just to see how Klopp is actually going to rotate that team, whether Jota gets a kind of like a confirmed spot in the 11, because I think we know that basically every single week Salah will be getting a confirmed spot. Maybe he'll do a little bit of rotation with Salah, but not too much. Mendy, a good shout for 30. Yeah, I mean, defensively, Chelsea have looked really, really good. The only thing I would say with Mendy is that, you're only really ever going to get 6 points. Whereas a keeper like Martinez, a keeper like Pope, even like Lennon, like I've got here, you're looking for those like 10 pointers. So effectively, if Martinez goes and gets 1 clean sheet and he gets a 10 pointer, and then he doesn't get a clean sheet the next week and gets like a 2 pointer, then in that same period of time, Mendy has to get 2 clean sheets just to be on equal points with Martinez. So I think going for the goalkeepers that have kind of really high potential of getting the save points, the bonus points, is definitely the one for me. But Mendy definitely not a bad option. Odegaard or Lingard, yep, I think we're for Lingard for me. Just for this week, okay. To be honest, I'd probably still go for Lingard, but maybe if see who plays for Arsenal, because I don't mind Odegaard as a 1 week punt. But if you're going for Arsenal options as 1 week punts, I don't know, maybe if you haven't already got a Aubameyang in there, I definitely would be going for a Aubameyang as a 1 week punt. Just highest potential to haul. Michael, how you doing, fella? Hope all is good. Mapai, Watkins, or Antonio. I guess I'll split this up into 2 separate. I'll do kind of like firstly, who's solely for Game Week 29, and then it's a different answer in terms of long term. So solely for this game week, because a differential, I really don't mind. I think Mapai could really be one to target against Newcastle. Very poor Newcastle side, although this could be a very cagey side with neither side really wanting to lose because of the relegation kind of implications that either side would have if they lose this game. Although Brighton, they've done themselves a lot of favours by beating Southampton. But yeah, I definitely don't mind Mapai. So for a free hit, I'd probably punt on Mapai. And then longer term, I'd probably be going for Watkins just because of the double game week. But I do think that Antonio is the better striker. So it's a toss-up between Watkins and Antonio. Captain Dallas week, clean sheet, a goal, I think. I mean, the clean sheet maybe I could see, but I mean the goal, if he scores, it's always ambitious to expect a player like Dallas to score. But he has scored in the past and he has got attacking returns. So I think it's fair enough with the potential. I think the expectation's got to be first and foremost that he gets a clean sheet. So if you think he's basically 100% going to get a clean sheet, then fair enough. And then anything like any kind of attacking return on top of that is great news for you. Castagne to Creswell, Son to Lingard, -4. Castagne to Creswell, yes. Son to Lingard, probably not. I've waited for more news on Son, but I've seen reports coming out saying that he could well play. And if you've taken a -4 to get Son out and he does play, you're going to be gutted. Along with that, as a long-term pick, Son will play against Newcastle. So even if you take out Son this week and he doesn't play, when he comes back and he plays against Newcastle, you're going to want him for that fixture. And you're going to want him for the kind of the rest of the season, I'd say, because after they have that blank game week, unless you're going to wildcard him back in, and after that blank game week, they're going to have an incredible run of fixtures, and Spurs also are due a double game week as well. So, yeah, Son is a keeper for me, especially with what I've been hearing that there is some potential that he plays against Aston Villa at the weekend. Shows like a -4 to have 10 players, or -8 to get 11. I think it's very dependent, Kobe, on like what your plans are for the future. If it's a -4 to bring in someone like Mapai just for this game week, then definitely not. I think I'm going to use this kind of blank game week as an opportunity to take a -4, but to set my team up a bit. So to bring in Tierney for like the longer term effects, and like just get rid of a bit of deadwood in Soyuncu and Pereira, who just they've not done the job my expectations were a lot higher than than what they've given me. So yeah, if they work into your longer term plans, then it could be more worth it. I don't necessarily think. I think a -4 to have 10 is probably the max I would do. But yeah, I mean, just dependent on the team. Thoughts on Chelsea versus Atletico today? Defo bringing a double defence. Day one, yeah, I didn't catch loads of the game, but yeah, I saw you. Obviously defended very well. Got the clean sheet. Got clean sheets in both the games against Atletico, with Ziyech scoring as well. Saw that, yeah. So I think that Chelsea assets look really nice, and especially the defenders. Azpilicueta's one that I'd say isn't necessarily essential because of his ownership, but for 30 onwards, I'd say pretty essential player to own, because he can really rack up the points. And if I were wildcarding, 100% he would get straight in there. It's kind of one thing that annoys me about this game, because that I really want Chelsea to play, because I want Azpilicueta in my team really badly, and it would give me a great excuse to bring him in. But I think there are other players that I kind of have to prioritise before bringing Azpilicueta, unfortunately, in. So yeah, I do think that Chelsea look really good. Although attacking wise, I mean, even Mason Mount's he's a bit up and down. Especially now that Chelsea have got through in the Champions League. There are very few players in that Chelsea team that we actually, or maybe you can say, Dylan, whether who you think are going to be the consistent players playing week in, week out. But I think it's going to be hard to kind of say week in, week out, apart from Rudiger, Mount, Azpilicueta, Mendy, and maybe someone like Kante, or Kovacic or Jorginho. They're going to rotate anyway, so it's going to be hard to say who's really going to play week in, week out. Up front especially, he's rotating it all the time. I think Rudiger is a starter now. He might be rotated with Silva and Christensen, but his performance yesterday and last few games, to be fair, Rudiger looks pretty class. He looks good. It seems like Tuchel's come in. Maybe it's that influence with a few of the German players, just like speaking the languages, and because there could have been some kind of there could have been some barriers with Frank, although there have been other managers previously. But yeah, he seems to have really got that back line ticking, especially Rudiger, who, at the start of the season we thought was dead wood. Same with Azpilicueta, wasn't getting a shout in with Frank, and it kind of shows how good of a player as Azpilicueta and say Rudiger still are, or always have been. They're really coming to the forefront. Bit of a shame for Kurt Zouma, because I think he was having a decent season, albeit with some pretty big fuck ups along the way. But I think Zuma's looking, so it's a little bit unfortunate for him, but the rest of the team look good. Thoughts on my move: Iheanacho to Antonio, Diaz to Creswell, and Son to Odegaard's 1 week punt. What I'd say is that Iheanacho to Antonio, love it. Diaz to Creswell is an interesting one. If you've got someone else, because I do think Diaz is still a great option until the end of the season. Even though he doesn't play 29-33, he's going to play the rest of the games, and just clean sheet potential is through the roof, and can get some attacking returns as well. But I would say that Creswell is more essential than Diaz. So like ideally you'd have both, but if you have to choose between the two, then Diaz to Creswell is an okay move. Son to Odegaard, that would be a -4, so that for me is a no, especially with the likelihood that Odegaard, probably he won't play a full 90 for sure. I don't even know if he has played a full 90 yet. May not even play. And Son also, I've seen stuff saying that Son could be back for this week. His powers of recovery are very, very good. So yeah, I don't think I'd be doing Son to Odegaard personally. Are Fulham defensively stronger now? I see them winning this weekend. Fulham have definitely got defensively stronger over the past 10 games. I'd say they've really shown some resilience at the back when they've kind of needed to step up a bit, to give themselves a fighting chance at least of not being relegated. They've shown that they are a stronger defensive side. I think that's pretty much solely down to Anderson and Areola. I think they cover for a lot of the other guys' mistakes. But yeah, I think that Fulham are good, but I think the intensity of Leeds, especially I think Fulham will be quite nervy because they'll see Leeds as a team that they can beat. So I can actually see them making a couple of mistakes in this game, and Leeds coming potentially away with the win. But Fulham definitely stand a chance in this game. Getting rid of Diaz because he blanks 29-33, but probably wildcard back in. Oh, fair enough. You're playing wildcard back in. That's, yeah, completely fair enough. No Wan-Bissaka or Trent in the Euro squad. Reece James, the best English right back. All right, let's calm down there. The geezer isn't even. He's not even got a consistent place in the Chelsea team yet. So let's calm. I mean, you've got Trippier in there at the minute, so I don't think these England squads. Picks, I'd say, are final. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's too indicative of what the Euro team will be like. But fair play to them. There was one name that I really wanted to see on there, and that's Aaron Creswell. I think it'll be a real shame if he doesn't get an England call up for the Euros. Fair enough if it's for just these games where you just want it, like he's called Watkins up just to probably tie him down to England, give him a run out. He's called Sam Johnson up as well. So I think this is very much just kind of like testing the waters with a few new players. Reece James may or may not. I don't know who because he's gonna take. He'll take two right backs basically. So it's a difficult one to decide what two right backs to take. I think Trent probably will be one of those. I feel like he'll be the first on the list, to be honest, and then it will just be whoever else. If Reece James can, I mean, it's weird. Like Reece James, Trent, Wan-Bissaka, they're all good at like Trippier and Trent. Very good at crossing, not very good defensively. I think that Wan-Bissaka is obviously the best defensively, and Reece James can provide a little bit of both. English boss picked Watkins over Bamford. It's an interesting one. To be fair, Bamford currently does have that injury, so that could be a potential reason why. He also misses a hell of a lot of chances. But yeah, so does Watkins. So Bamford could see an English call up, I think, potentially, because Watkins is he's a bit younger, so they probably, will want to tie him down potentially to the England side more than Bamford's opportunity kind of may have already passed in terms of, being called up for England. Maybe he'll don the shirt. It'll be, nice for him, I guess, in some kind of friendly or qualifiers. Jesus, sorry about that. Or maybe in a game that doesn't really matter. Could be nice for him to play. But yeah, maybe we'll see him play. Penguin, how you doing, fella? Hope all is well. I don't know. Are you planning on streaming at all in the coming days or for the deadline tomorrow? Be good to catch up and see how you plan to deal with game week 29. Have a see how Benji's faring as well. But yeah, hope all is good. Keep him greater than Bale, greater than Sancho. Right. Kiefer Moore, I think you're going to have to explain to everyone who that is. Greater than Vardy, greater than Bale, greater than Sancho. I will say I think Sancho potentially a bit overrated. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be playing Foden first on that right wing. But yeah, I'm going with your choice of Meza this week, hoping it pays off. Hey man, obvious, what I'd say is, go with your gut and decisions. I will say who I think's best, but kind of try to make your own decision, because then at the end of the day, if Mezzier doesn't, I think might have been Areola was the second pick. If Areola outscores Mezzier, you'll end up thinking, but if only he'd have told me Areola, and I guess not really making the choice for yourself. So make sure it is a decision that you're personally happy with, and one that you really do want to go with. Make sure there's no doubt in terms of like bringing Areola in. Am I bringing Duncan? No, I am not. I've debated. I have debated about bringing in a Brighton defender. I'd probably go for Veltman. I'd probably go for White, to be honest, just because he's going to play week in, week out. He's going to play. Veltman, I think, will play week in, week out, especially with the Lamptey problems with injuries and the fact that Burnham's got this injury as well. So I do think Veltman is an absolutely fine pick. And I was looking at a potential move to, devalue or extract some money out of my team by bringing someone like Veltman in. But then I also see this like with how the season's going, I feel like I need some differentials. And I need some differentials who could potentially score quite a few points. And for me, Tierney's a player who can do that. I'm looking at probably going to like a 4-back for the rest of the season, as defenders seem to be picking up a hell of a lot of points. Maybe even a 5-back. Trent could have a really good run as well. So yeah, I think Tierney for me is one that I'm definitely looking going. And I just want someone who's going to bring a bit of excitement to my team, to be honest with you. So yeah, I really, really do like Tierney. But yeah, Dunk looks like a decent option. Grabbed the goal last week, got a 10-pointer, very solid. Yeah, got some attacking potential. So I don't think he's a bad option at all. Robson Carnu goals versus Belgium in 2016, 1. Vardy, 0. So that's a very, 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 very specific stat. But I mean, if you want to manipulate stats like that, then how are we going to go about this? We could say that Milivojevic is a better player than who should we pick? Than Mason Mount, because he scored in game week 28 and Mason Mount did not. There you are. Have that. Have that. But yeah, since Duncan's a terrible run of fixtures, I'll probably get Rudiger in. Thoughts? Yeah, I like Rudiger. Obviously not for this game week as he doesn't play, but game week 30 onwards looks like a classy option. I mean, let's take a look at the fixtures for this week. There isn't, really too much to look at, to be honest with you, which is probably why this stream will probably be a little bit shorter than my normal ones. I normally tend to go for an hour. I'll probably go for about 45 minutes because there isn't too much to talk about, although it is a big game week in the sense that it's a blank game week, and what the hell do we do for it? Who do we bring in? So it's big in that sense, but it's not big in the sense that there's hardly any teams playing. Get your words out. Captain Trossard, interesting. I like Trossard a lot as a pick. I think, as I normally say, I think those players are good enough as differentials. Obviously, if you want to captain them, they really could send you flying if they play well. Personally, I'm going to play it nice and simple and going with Harry Kane. But Trossard could smash it against Newcastle. He could. But yeah, I think for me personally, he's enough as a differential. But if you feel it in your gut, why the hell not? So, Wales appearance. England not. Oh dear. Yeah, you could definitely manipulate the stats like that if you want to, Dylan. You definitely can. Anyone on some fitness, nightmare. May have to get Lingard in for him. So I've heard from Mourinho there is potential of him coming back for this Aston Villa fixture. I think he'll definitely be back by the Newcastle fixture. So I would most definitely, I'm personally going to keep him. So I think with that Newcastle fixture, he looks pretty damn unreal. And going forward, pretty much guaranteed to have a double game week in the future fixtures, and game week 34 onwards looks really, really good. So yeah, I personally think would stick with him. But obviously, if you want the guaranteed player for this blank game week 29, then Lingard could well be the one. Take out Gunn from -4 for Lingard. I don't mind it. If Lingard's someone you want for the rest of the season, it's a very attacking move because you put yourself at a -2 effectively. So if Lingard gets any kind of attacking return, could be good. And I don't think Gundo is going to get. I think he's going to get rotated a lot more throughout the rest of the season with Champions League fixtures. They're really going to be gunning for the Champions League, and I don't think he's going to get as many attacking returns. He was very, very lucky to get an attacking return. Who was it against? Against Southampton, I'm pretty sure it was. Against Southampton, he was really lucky to get that goal. He's playing super deep now as well. He's not making hardly as many of those kind of late attacking runs into the box. So yeah, Gundo, personally one I think I would be getting rid of. What do you think the average score will be this game? I think there'll be a hell of a lot, because there will be a hell of a lot of people who play the game and have not planned for this game week. I think it generally is people who take FPL a bit more seriously, who would have even known about this game week, to be honest, because it wasn't announced that long ago that these fixtures were, that there are only going to be 8 teams playing for this. I think people like me personally, I've been planning for this game week for quite a while to make sure I have. Hopefully, I will have at least 9, probably 10, potentially 11, depending on the Son injury. So I think the game week average score is going to be quite low. I'm going to plonk it on about 35. It's just, I think if Harry Kane goes and scores, which I see happening, that will send the average flying up. So I think it could be genuinely anywhere between 25 to 35. But yeah, I reckon about 35 for this game week is what I can see it being a realistic average. Who do you think are the best differentials for this week? I go for I think Bale, still a very good differential. Aubameyang, really, really good differential. I think Trossard, definitely got to be up there. Even someone like Kieran Tierney, he's still pretty low owned. Has a high potential of absolutely popping off. Here's one. Callum Wilson. If you're on a free hit, I wouldn't be transferring him in terms of long term. If you just normal transfers. If you're on a free hit, I see no reason to not include Callum Wilson. I think he's on the FPL app. He's due to be back for this week. There is definitely a lot of talk with him potentially being back for this Brighton game because it's such an important game. So yeah, if you're on a free hit, absolutely no. Especially with how kind of cheap a free hit for this week would be, because there are literally only 2 or 3 premium assets you're putting in there. You're putting in Kane, maybe Son, maybe Bale, Aubameyang, and that's about it for the premium assets for this week. There's literally no other premium assets you could eat, even if you wanted to. There literally are no other premium assets from any of these teams that you could buy. On that same kind of thought or way of thinking, Grealish for me, I'd be putting Grealish and Wilson into my free hit draft, just because if there's a potential that they could play, I think they could both do very, very well. And then if they don't play, they probably won't be playing a single minute. So you just make sure your bench is all right. And because, as I say, that this team is not going to be too expensive, or the free hit team, you can have a pretty damn good bench. Same thing as be 35 to 40. Yeah, the average for this past week gone is 43. So it's pretty awful game week all round by the scenes of it. And yeah, I can see this one being lower. I think it will be dragged down quite a lot from people who just maybe don't pay as much attention, didn't realise there was 8 games. So I think there will be quite a few people who have probably 4 or 5 players this game week. There'll probably be a base of people with at least 5 options just through having Aston Villa assets, which have been quite popular this season. People having Spurs assets, quite popular. Leeds as well, the likes of Bamford, Dallas, very popular options just generally, and probably Creswell, maybe even Antonio. So there are a few options this week that I kind of have a general high ownership. So there will still be a base. I think most people will have at least 5 or 6, even if they kind of didn't even realise there was a blank game week this week. But yeah, I think that it'll be a low scoring week. There is an outside chance with the -4 that I think I'm going to take of me having a full 11. Let me bring my team back up. So basically what would happen is I'd have Pereira. I'd have Creswell in for Pereira. I'd have Soyuncu would be on there, but I'd have a Soyuncu. I'd have Tierney in for Soyuncu, so that would take me up to 10 if Son and Bamford both play. I think Bamford is going to play with what with what Bielsa's name, with what Bielsa's saying, and then Fernandes would be benched. Gundogan would move to Smith Rowe. So yeah, I think that's what I'd be doing with a potential of having probably at least 10, maybe 11, which would be quite nice to be honest. What scores are you going for this week then? I think on that same token, like a 35 points would be higher than I got last week. So yeah, like a 35, 40 pointer, I'd be more than happy with this week. To be honest, I think it is mainly based around mainly based around Kane captain. Jeez, lots of words today. Ole's out the wall. Hello. How you doing, fella? Hope the exam's gone okay. That's Mr. L. Taylor. Shout out. Praise be to thee. You gave it the old bish bash bosh, I hope. I hope you gave it the old bish bash bosh. That's what I'm hoping for. But if you didn't, potato. You know what I mean? Potato. I am rambling on right now. Who are the best captaincy options then? Kane, Tony if he's back. Rafinha, Trossard, differential. Bale's got some high potential. Who else am I thinking? Dallas as well. It's been shouted out. Definitely not a bad option. Either Aubameyang, if you've got him differential, could be a good option. Kane is the obvious one, and the one I personally the one I'm definitely going for, and the one I'd probably sway people towards. But if you got it in your guts, then go for the differential. Brought in Adams and Ward-Prowse this week. Thoughts? Why? Neither have a blank game week, Mr. Dave. Neither have a blank game week. I hope you're kidding me. But if you're not, the double up is the double up. They've got a double game week coming up in the future, so they're not going to be the worst going forward. Southampton have very nice fixtures as well. Game week 30. Game week 30 is Burnley. Game week 31 is West Brom. And Game week 32 is Palace. So Game week 32 is the around about time where it is good to get rid of your Southampton assets, as no chance are they ever beating Crystal Palace. Would you bring Aubameyang in for Son? Free hit, yes. Long term, no. Personally, not. If Aubameyang was definitely going to be playing 31 to 35, I'd give you like 100% yes, but just because we don't know whether he is, there's going to be rotation, whether it's due to him turning up late, whether it's just, Europa League rotation. So just because we don't have that confirmation that he's going to... They've got really, really good fixtures though, Arsenal. Game week 31 to 35. They play Newcastle, they play West Brom, they play Sheffield, they play Fulham, and they play Everton. So that's unbelievable fixtures. But yeah, if someone could tell me with hindsight that he was 100% going to play all those fixtures, I say yeah. But because that's not the case, and Son also does have a double game week due to be played, and really, really good fixtures, game week 34 onwards, which he will be playing, obviously, kind of depending on injury. I'd be keeping Son. In Fulham leads to... Yep, fair enough, man. Yeah, it's fair enough. Love it, mate. Yep, love it. Yeah, Dave, if you're bringing those players in, fella, good luck to you. What is the time now? Because I got myself some pizza to order. I will be getting some nice... No Domino's tonight. No Domino's. We found a lovely little place that does some oven-baked pizzas. Oh, and they are fine. Curly fries as well. Oh, my Lord, some curly fries. Man's getting a belly because of them curly fries, but they are unbelievable. We are about to hit that 45-minute mark. So, I think I will definitely be doing a deadline stream tomorrow. probably about half an hour before the deadline, as is per usual. Yeah, there's not. I think we've covered the majority of the basis for this game week. If you've got any more questions, hit me up on Twitter, or just pop a message in any kind of in the description of comments of any of my videos. Max asking score position, not points on FPL. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, why don't we run through a couple of score predictions to kind of end this off. Hodgson for manager of the month. Give that one more. He's done okay this month, hasn't he? He's not done too bad. Have we lost? I'm not sure if we've lost. Big man Hodgson has us. We lost to Spurs 4-1. Drew with United, drew with Fulham, beat West Brom, beat Brighton. But manager of the month, come on, man. I know you're having a giggle. Fulham Leeds. My FPL. Well, I'll do realistic ones and I'll do FPL predictions. So my FPL prediction for this one would be a nice 4-0 to Leeds. Give Rafinha, give Dallas, give Bamford the attacking returns. Very, very tidy. Lookman getting a nice yellow card. That'd be ideal. But realistic predictions, scrappy game. Fulham fighting for it. Leeds nabbing a goal. Fulham potentially nabbing a goal. 1-1 with a lean towards 2-1. Leeds victory. Brighton, Newcastle United. Depending on Callum Wilson being back. Firstly, FPL 1-1, please. Let's give it to Adam Lallana goal, assisted by McAllister. And Newcastle, we're going to go for a John Joe Shelvey goal, assisted by... who can we assist? I mean, anyone. Joe Linton. Who the fuck owns Joe Linton? Or Andy Carroll. Let's see a scorpion kick from Andy Carroll to sink everyone who owns a Brighton defender into absolute dismay. Let's get them mudded. That'd be my FPL prediction. In terms of actual prediction, I think Brighton are definitely more likely of the two to win this one. So I'm going for a 0-0, 1-0 Brighton. Would be the one. Have I taken... good to see you, Lim. Have I taken any hits? I haven't yet done any of my moves, to be honest. I'm heavily debating a -4, which would be Pereira to Creswell. I'd be doing Gundogan to Smith Rowe, and then the -4 would be Soyuncu to Tierney. Looks pretty good in the long run. Is a double up on the Arsenal defence though, so I don't know if I can bring myself. I'd actually have to support Arsenal each week as well, which that'd pay me a little. I'm looking at, because the double up for Leicester hasn't really worked for me. But yeah, I think that Arsenal, to be fair, if Gabriel, David Luiz and Leno are kind of, and I guess Tierney are the kind of mainstays in that Arsenal team, I think defensively they actually look really, really strong, and Tierney's got some really good chance of getting some attacking potentials. Let's see, 2-2 Leeds Fulham. Guys, as well, yeah, get your score predictions down below. Let me know what you think. I want to hear your realistic prediction and your FPL prediction, because we're going to see a lot of 20-0s. Let's not go too ham on the FPL ones, but we're going to see a lot of 20-0s. We want to see some Areola losses of clean sheets. We want to see some Lookman yellow cards. We want to see some Dunk yellow cards. We want to see a couple of Veltman yellow cards. I mean, a couple of Veltman of yellow cards have been a red card. I mean, not that I wish it on anyone, but I wouldn't be too disappointed if that happened, let me say. I think I'd rather, from an FPL perspective, Newcastle win. And I guess from a general footballing perspective, I think it makes the relegation battle a lot better if we see a Newcastle win. Maybe from that perspective, from the relegation battle perspective, I think that Fulham drawing and Brighton and Newcastle drawing would be very entertaining, because it keeps every single side well in it, to be honest with you. Then West Ham versus Arsenal, we're taking a look from a FPL point of view, it looks like I'm going to have double Arsenal defence with an Arsenal midfielder and West Ham defence with a West Ham midfielder. So we're looking for a 0-0 game right here with Leno, Tierney and, pardon me, Creswell sharing the bonus points. We're looking at 3 bonus points for Creswell. We're looking at 3 bonus points for Tierney and 3 for Leno. Not too much for Arsenal. It's not too much for Arsenal. But realistic terms, I do actually think that that Arsenal win this game. I can see this being like a 1-0 Arsenal. Tight, cagey game with both sides looking to really push up the table. Obviously, West Ham with a bit more to play at the minute, but Arsenal do have an outside chance of European football, but they're also in the Europa League as well, so there's also that going for them. Fulham 1-1 leads, Brighton 1-1, West Ham 2, Arsenal 1 is probably the biggest one there, and then Villa 1, Spurs 3. So you think that Villa will score, but Spurs will score 3. Fulham 1, Leeds 1, and Brighton 1, Newcastle 1. I mean, I'd probably take both of those results. Maybe the Leeds scoring like a 2-3-1 Leeds would be rather nice. My man looks like an Easter Island hare. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. I will take that as a massive compliment to be compared to a massive fat stone. Leeds 2-0, Brighton 2-1. So Leeds will win 2-0 against Fulham. Okay. Brighton will win 2-1 against Newcastle. Okay. West Ham 2-1. Oh, yeah, a lot of people going West Ham 2-1. Dylan in there with a West Ham 2-1 against Arsenal as well. And Spurs 3-0 with Watkins 2 offsides. Yeah, I think no thank you for the Watkins 2 offsides. I think we're going for the 3-2 Spurs. Not realistically, FPL wise, what am I looking for from the Aston Villa Spurs game? We're looking for an Ollie Watkins goal. We're looking for a Harry Kane goal. We're looking for Son to play the game and score a brace and mud all the people who were on a free hit and didn't put him in. That'll be ideal. And we're definitely looking for Martinez to lose that clean sheet, because I'm going without Martinez, which I think is still a risk, because if they do get a clean sheet against Spurs, I am very much in the mud going for Leno, but I do think that Arsenal will be keeping a clean sheet in this game. And then just to round it up, I can't remember, it's an hour anyway. Antonio for DCL, Bamford, jeez, that's a tough bit, because I think Bamford will play this week against Fulham. DCL doesn't obviously have a fixture this week, but then has a really, really good fixtures with a double coming up. So yeah, genuinely for this game week, I think I'd really want Bamford. Longer term, I think DCL looks better with a double game week. So if you really, 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 really wanted to make the move, probably Bamford in terms of long term. This game week, it'll be DCL. Spurs 3-1. Martinez with 9 saves. No. Martinez gets 1 save, concedes 3 goals, gets a cheeky minus point, even concedes 4, gets a 2 cheeky minus points, and is on a 1 or 2 pointer. Thoughts on Danish midfielder Eric Sean? My man, I'm going to have to look up who this is. So L. Eric, S-U-S-H-U-N. Eric S-H-U-N. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Eric Chihuahua. Eric Chihuahua. That's what I'm going to say. Eric Chihuahua. That's my man Eric Chihuahua. Yeah, I think Eric Chihuahua is a decent player. He can play the ball. He can play the ball long. And I think he's a Chris Wood ex player. Yeah, got a bit of word about him. But yeah, Eric Chihuahua. I'm glad you let the chat know of that one. El. I'm glad you let the chat know of that one. But yeah, I think I am going to be wrapping things up. Dude, I'll hold on for a second. There was a bit of a delay as I go and drop on a thing. But yeah, I will hold on for a second. Any last minute comments, and then I'll be wrapping things up. So yeah, I'll give it 30 seconds just to ponder. And yeah, any last minute thoughts, and I will be going. And I'm also, I cannot wait. Pizza tonight. Oh my word. Oh my word. I cannot wait to scrounge this pizza. And that is why I'm going, because I need to order some pizza before I get very, very hungry, to be honest with you. So yeah, I can't see any more comments coming through in a minute. So if you have enjoyed the stream, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as per normal. And I'll be back tomorrow, deadline stream. I will catch you in a bit. Adios. I've been